It still didn't start. There, I listened to you, Ryan. I ran the intro again when it doesn't start, so
right.
we're good. We're good. No awkwardness or anything like that. I do see that everybody's saying no Ryan today because they're late. Motherfucker, he's more late than I am. I watch this show. Unlike Ryan, I watch this show when I'm not on this show. Okay, and you guys are usually 2 or 3 minutes late before you go live. I'm never late. Today was the first time in a long time. So go fuck yourself. Anybody saying that?
We were just talking. That's why.
Yeah,
we're talking about the hurricane.
Hurricane. So
we're talking about the hurricane. Jeremy is like, you might get hit by it. I'm like, bring it on. Bring the hurricane here. I hope it washes away a bunch of the dirty, homeless, disgusting people here. I'd be like very happy if that happened. I'll be perfectly fine. I'm not worried. So yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, Ryan got a haircut, everybody. So congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you. Yeah, I needed one bad. Obviously, so the girl who cuts my hair, who's the only person I trust to cut my hair, she was out of town. She was on vacation when I like really needed a haircut. And then as soon as she got back, I went out of town. So I was just kind of fucked. I was like, I just look like I already look like I was in a prison camp or something. So make it look like I'm a prisoner of war, that I'm being held hostage somewhere. I looked fucking, it got too long. All right. That's the longest my hair has been, at least on the sides. Definitely. That's as long as my hair has been in fucking 15 years, probably, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's got that long since I joined the military. So
I heard you talking about me and how I cut my hair.
Yeah, Jay's like, why don't you just let Jeremy do it? Are you fucking kidding me?
I just take clippers and cut the sides off so it doesn't show, so I can tuck all of my hair under my hat, and I just go about my day. So it doesn't matter to me. I cut my own hair. Fuck it. Who cares, right? I'm sorry, I'm bald. I forgot I'm bald. So
yeah, I was telling Jay, you never know exactly what's under your cap. Like you could take it off to like scratch your head, and it could be like shaved down to like a 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
Like the rest of it. Or it could just like explode this weird Jupro type of hair.
Yeah.
It's a real surprise. You never quite know what to expect.
If I actually took care like of my hair, I probably would like have really nice hair, but I just don't fucking care. I just don't care. I just throw a hat on and go on about my day. So
I just go in, I say, hey, give me the Megan Rapinoe. I know exactly what to do.
But I hope everybody's doing well today. And don't forget, if you go over to 221B Tactical, do you know what you can pick up over there? You can pick up the IDOT t-shirt or hoodie right here. So there's the hoodie, the IDOT hoodie or t-shirt that is going to be available until October 1st. So once it's October 1st, they're out. We're going to get these shipped out before Halloween. So whether you want the hoodie, whether you want the shirt, or if you want the combo package, you go over to 221B. Let me pin the tweet right here. So that is our new mascot. If you guys are not aware, IDOT is the Geeks and Gamers mascot. So you're going to be seeing a lot more from him in the future. So hopefully you guys get a chance. Let's see if I can. There we go. So he is a really cool looking character. That's a cool design with the 199 and the skull and everything. So yeah, check it out. Rise of the IDOT's Halloween edition. So there we go. Ryan, so how was your weekend? I haven't talked to you much.
I mean, I had a busy week. But so I got back home, and listen, whenever I go anywhere away from my place, I always leave it in shambles. I am like one of those people who packs kind of everything at the last minute. I don't come back to a fucking place that's nice. I come back to, I got to put all the shit away that I messed up when I was packing all my stuff. So that's what I basically did this weekend. And watch some football.
Yeah, watch some football.
And watch the Batman. I was finally able to watch the Batman
on
Sunday night.
You mean the Penguin? You mean
Sorry,
the
the
Penguin?
Penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got PTSD flashbacks from all the Batman reviews. But yeah, I was able to watch the Penguin, and man, I famously, I enjoyed the Batman movie. But even with that being said, I wasn't necessarily hyped or excited about the Penguin. I like Colin Farrell's performance, his small performance that he had in the movie. But hey, spin-off, Max series, the Penguin. Okay, I was gonna watch it, but I wasn't like excited or hyped. First episode is a banger, man. Everybody should go watch it if you haven't already.
I loved it. Gary had messaged me a few days ago, and I was like, "Yeah, when I get a chance, I'll check it out." And then I think you had told me you liked it, and so I was like, "All right, let me go ahead and check this out." And yeah, I absolutely loved it. As I said in my video talking about it, one of the key elements for me in a Batman video game, movie, comic, or whatever is capturing Gotham as a character. Gotham needs to feel like a character. And while I had issues with the Matt Reeves Batman, I did enjoy it, but I had issues with it. Gotham is awesome in that movie. I love Gotham. Gotham feels like its own character, and so getting Gotham from a different perspective, from the Penguin's perspective, and Colin Farrell crushing it in that role. By the way, he's just fantastic. He owns it, and getting introduced to all of these characters, and setting up some of the storylines in that first episode, because the first episode is like over an hour long, right? It's like an hour and 5 minutes,
like
long
an hour, 15 minutes, something like that.
And yeah, don't get me wrong. Now, there's not a lot of, like, you're not getting a ton of action. Okay, it's very dialogue heavy in this first episode. So
guess what? When you have great writing, people in rooms talking can be super compelling.
100%.
Right? When you're developing these characters, when you have dialogue that actually makes sense, when you're intrigued, when you're learning more about these interactions that they have and the motivations behind the characters. I hate to, like, for all the people that started watching Game of Thrones in season 5 and 6, I hate to spoil it for you, but the first several seasons, it was not about the massive battles and dragons. It was about people in rooms talking and the character development and the interactions between them and all the different motivations that made that show as compelling as it was. Were cool battles every once in a while awesome? Yes. But it was about the characters. And I feel like that's been so lost in a lot of ways with the way people interpret current day television. They feel like you need these giant battle gunfight sequences, stuff like that, when the core of it, if your writing is poor, it's not going to matter how many fucking lightsaber fights you have. If the story isn't there, if the dialogue isn't there, and they knocked it out of the park with the first episode. I don't really know where it's going, but I think that was a great first episode to kind of set the tone for the whole series.
Yeah, 100%. And so we're going to continue to tell you what we think. I mean, obviously, we don't know where this is. It eight episodes? Is that what it is? 8 episodes?
Something like that.
I think it's 8 episodes. And IGN did give it a 5 out of 10 for this series. Now, they've seen the whole series, apparently, but so they gave it a 5 out of 10. Although, just to give further context, fuck IGN, first of all, but the first episode, they did give an 8 out of 10 of the first episode in their review, but the entire season, they gave it a 5 out of 10. So we'll see. Go ahead.
Those were 2 different reviewers, and this is something that kind of drives me crazy. IGN's a lot of different people, right? So if IGN gives She-Hulk a 9 and IGN gives the Batman a 5, if those are the same reviewers, well, that obviously means something, that person's kind of delusional. But that would be, guess what? Me and Jeremy have different opinions on some movies, right? So that would be like if I gave the Batman an 8 and Jeremy gave She-Hulk a 10 for some reason. Oh, look, Geeks and Gamers graded She-Hulk better than they did the Batman. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I agree.
That is something you have to keep in context whenever we make these fucking comparisons. It's different people reviewing it. It's kind of tough to hold that up against the other thing.
I've made those same points before too, and so it's a valid point for sure, and I agree with that. But overall, I do think that IGN does have, there's certain things that you, as a reviewer of IGN, you're not allowed to say. That's just a bottom line, or support. You know what I mean? So there's no true individuality at IGN. Unlike Geeks and Gamers, where if somebody wants to love something and praise something and even praise the political agenda in it or criticize the political agenda, that's able to do. There's no way a person at IGN, just like a weirdo at GameStop, can put pronouns on their fucking name tag, but they can't wear MAGA on their name tag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem. So IGN weirdos can put gay flags in their bio, but they wouldn't be able to put like MAGA 2024 in their fucking bio without getting some type of strict talking to. But your overall point stands for sure. But with that said, fuck IGN. So
yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them. Eric with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Eric, with 10 gifted memberships. We appreciate that. Good man. I don't care what Ryan says about you. I like you.
Thank you, Eric. L-Dub, hail the 199. Thank you, L-Dub. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for Vibe. Ryan's new haircut looks like it comes from a Dragon Age Veilguard character creator. Well, I don't have top surgery scars. These people were very mad about my video on that, Jeremy.
I'm a little like out of. I mean, I know what's going on with it. Don't get me wrong, but I haven't made any videos yet because I've just been tied up with politics and all this other stuff going on, YouTube drama and shit. But I do know the basics of it, but I haven't seen your videos. So did you get a lot of heat on your video? Oh no! I know what it was. You got clipped on Twitter is what it was.
I got clipped on Twitter, and honestly,
I did see that.
Like, honestly, the clip sounds pretty tame. Like, obviously, there's a lot of jokes and everything that you could take out of a stream or FNT or whatever, but the clips out of my video, it's like, I don't know what you expect. You think that's like a bannable offense or something like that. It's wild to me, but obviously YouTube did not agree. So, here we are still.
Here we are.
How it works.
Yeah. A spoiler alert for all the weirdos that are constantly like these guys. If YouTube ever does like specify to us that we've said something that we shouldn't say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to like, oh, okay, my bad. You know, we will stay in line with the rules.
I'll say it in a different way to still get my point across.
Like, these people are fucking retarded, man. But that's their existence, and to be fair, they're getting more traction than they've ever gotten by talking about us. So they're going to continue to talk about us because they're getting reactions, they're getting quote tweets. People are going after them. People are calling them names, which is exactly what they're wanting. They're basically willing their fake victimness into existence by saying all this bad shit about us, lying about us, and then people are quote tweeting them, messaging them, saying all these things, and they go, see, these guys are doing the same. These guys are doing exactly what we said. Well, of course they are now. A lot of people are criticizing you now because you're lying, but that's the whole narrative they're trying to build around this, and they're getting what they want out of it.
That's why I don't like sit there and quote tweet these losers or whatever. Like, it's not to me, it doesn't matter. And honestly, because for all the people that are like, we should report them and get them to, I don't care. I want the internet to remain a place where, hey, I cannot go out here, have my opinion, put my videos out. If somebody fucking hates me and hates my guts, go for it. Make your reaction videos, clip out your stuff, whatever. I don't want you taken down. I certainly don't want to be taken down. But all of the other like ramping everything up, or, you know, if you don't stop talking about me, there's going to be legal action. I do not care about that shit at all. If something were to happen and our channel actually got taken down, that would be one thing. All of the other shit, fucking internet lawsuits, I think, are gay and cringe. So I'm just not worried about that stuff. Yeah,
me either. We'll see what happens. I mean, you know, people support us on wherever we are, so it's all good.
Derek PG Beller for 199. I have a man cut my hair because I'm not gay. I have a woman cut my hair because she's hot. So that's pretty much.
I feel the same way about sitting down, having my hair cut as I do like going to the doctor, I don't like anybody having any control over me. All right. I don't like somebody standing around my head with a knife or scissors. I just don't like it.
I feel like you have some like childhood trauma.
I have none.
Like,
I have none
somewhere.
No, I just
experimented on you.
I'm on social media too much. Okay. So that's my trauma. I don't like people having any level of control over me. I don't like having substances having control over me. I have to be in control of the situation. That's it. Like sitting there with like somebody having a knife around my neck or my head, whatever. No, leave me the fuck alone. This could be a crazy person. Okay. So no,
I wonder what Jeremy's haircuts
cut,
were like as a
I,
young
I'll,
8-year-old in a trailer park.
I'll cut my own hair. I'll drive myself where I need to go. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do everything. That's essentially my philosophy in life. I'll do it. Just I don't need anybody doing shit for me from that perspective, except for Ryan when I need him to fix something on YouTube.
Yeah, except for anything you could easily fix by like Googling or something. Hey, how does this work? I Google it, find out in 5 seconds. Here you go. Knee pain for 5. I can't tell if I love the Penguin or shows have been so bad that I fell for the first show that wasn't a massive pile of shit. It's good. And, you know, it doesn't mean that the whole series is going to be great. I think that the Batman's third act suffered in a lot of ways. I don't think that stuck the landing. We'll see what happens with Penguin, but all I can judge is what I've seen, the first episode, and I really thought it was good. And it has me. I was not hyped or excited for this. I was going to check it out, but now I'm really excited to see the next episode.
Well, I on the premise alone, and by the way, before I say it, WG with 50 says, but Jeremy was not in control of this super chat.
He seems fine with it somehow.
Yeah, I'm okay with that one for some strange reason. What's up, WG? Yeah, listen, I get the people are concerned with like it's a Batman show without Batman, essentially. I get that, and that could become a problem as we progress into the series. It could. I don't really know how you avoid that moving forward. As crime gets worse, as more people end up dead, as there's a lot going on, and you're building up this crime mentality, crime family, mob boss mentality, or whatever. And if Batman's not involved, that's going to feel weird at some point.
A little bit, but I think they have the setting right because it starts in the immediate aftermath of the Batman, after like the entire city's been fucking devastated. And by the feeling you had, I suppose, at the end of the Batman, it was like Robert Pattinson's Batman realizing that he's inspired a lot of fear in people, but he can also kind of inspire a lot of hope in people that need it as well. And so I think my guess is going to be that a lot of the focus for him is going to be helping like clean up some of these problems that are happening, saving people's lives in the aftermath of this disaster when the police and FEMA can't do it. And then we'll see what happens and how long this kind of gang war lasts, and if he ever does step in, or if that's going to be a plot point in the Batman 2, you know?
Right. Yeah. And it has made me want to go back now. I've seen the Batman twice. I saw it the first time. I saw it in theaters twice, and I liked it. I liked it less the second time, and I did enjoy it, and I still enjoyed it the second time. But the second time I watched it, I noticed how much the scenes just were drawn out, and I'm like, man, this movie could have been edited down like 15 or 20 minutes and flowed so much better. And there's just little things like that I felt are just like, but the score is amazing. Robert Pattinson is fine as Batman. I'm not saying I think he's the greatest Batman ever, but he's fine. And Matt Reeves' Gotham is pretty incredible. So yeah, I want to go back and watch it now after watching the Penguin though.
Yeah, well, I guess we can talk because a lot of people have been watching it. I honestly didn't expect this show to draw in quite as many viewers as it apparently has. Just in the United States, 5.3 million people in its first weekend. And I think that's the biggest premiere they've had since The Last of Us came out last year, which I think set a record for them in terms of the amount of people that tuned into that. But very interestingly, when you look at the number of households that tuned in, 3.2 million people in the United States, households in the United States, tuned in to watch the first episode of The Penguin on HBO or on Max over its first 4 days. Compare that to something like the most expensive television series in history, The Rings of Power, couldn't break 1 million households on the same measuring system, Samba TV, over the first 5 days. That 3 times the number for a show that didn't have nearly as much buildup or promotion or advertisement, and certainly not the same amount of money that's being put into it. You have a spin-off movie featuring a side character in the Batman universe versus this massive adaptation of a Lord of the Rings story. And this is the result.
Yeah, I didn't hear a lot of people talking about the Penguin at all. Like, this was not something that was discussed at all. And yet this just shows you the power of, first of all, just the Batman universe and how people are looking for something that's just well done, well written, with not a lot of bullshit, versus the Rings of Power, which is advertised all over the freaking place. Like, holy shit, the marketing campaign, it was everywhere. They put all this money behind it, and they still couldn't even get like half of the viewers on this metric. That, you know, that, I mean, this is just insane, man. So and I am shocked that this many people tuned in based on this metric. Can you explain the Samba TV metric just so people that don't know can understand it, Ryan?
Samba TV measures, so it has a bunch of different TVs, like 25 or 30 million TVs in the United States that it essentially gets data from. And so it's really only comparable Samba TV to Samba TV in the same way that Nielsen ratings, you can really only compare those to Nielsen ratings. That's measuring the number of minutes watched, right? Whereas this is measuring the amount of households that have those smart TVs that tuned in. And so when you see numbers like this, the idea that whether people on HBO or on Max, 3.2 million households tuned in to the Penguin compared to 1 million for Rings of Power Season 2. That's pretty powerful. And oftentimes when you compare the rankings of these Samba TV numbers in terms of how well these shows are doing based on household views, it ends up getting reflected a few weeks later when we actually see the ratings. And now the Penguin debuted one episode, like pretty much all of these HBO and Max series do, kind of traditionally, instead of, hey, let's put out 3 episodes so we can try to get a bunch of watch time to make it look like it's
30-minute episodes usually, which I know Rings of Power wasn't that, but like a lot of these like Disney Plus shows. Well, how long is Rings of Power? I haven't even watched Rings of Power.
Rings of Power is fucking hour-long episodes.
Ooh, I bet that's tough to get.
3 hour-long episodes, which I do think the official, I don't know if the Nielsen ratings have officially come out for that, the first weekend of it or not. I do think they'll be rather high because you're talking about so much shit as opposed to like a 45-minute episode of something else that might come out. 3 hours. Yeah. It's going to accumulate a lot of watch time. But after that is, I think we're going to see a massive drop off. And I think we're going to see a significant embarrassment for them when those Nielsen ratings for the following week actually do get released, because it looks like they've lost half their audience.
Yeah. And I do love how in the beginning of the Penguin, man, like how it opens up with like Gotham News reporting on everything. So you're starting to get the scope and the scale of the city, and how it just grabs you from the beginning. And that's what any show is supposed to do. So you don't need to put 3 long episodes out or 3 shitty episodes to get that watch time. If you actually just produce a show that people are interested in, and off rip from the beginning, the Penguin has you hooked. Because if you're going there out of just interest alone and you see that opening, you're going to keep watching.
It has a great opening scene.
100%, man. You're going to keep watching. Like, I don't know if people remember. So the Dark Knight do you remember the special features of the Dark Knight where they did all those interviews with like Gotham News Tonight and how they would have Harvey Dent on and interview him about things? Have you seen any of that? Oh my God, man.
No.
Dude, there's like scenes where like the reporters walked into a restaurant and Bruce Wayne was sitting there, asking him about the new DA. They're amazing. They're on YouTube. You can find them on YouTube. They're incredible. And that's what that reminded me of, is because those elements of the Dark Knight, like it wasn't in the movie, but it was part of the special features, but it did kind of continue to fill out that universe and that world. And what that opening scene from the Penguin, I was all in from that, man. I was all in.
Yeah, and I think it also, like, it should be noted that Max doesn't have a ton of subscribers compared to something like, certainly not Netflix, but it's way behind Disney Plus and it's way behind Prime. So you have that many people tuning into a streaming service that does not have the same number of subscribers that some of these other big ones do.
Yeah,
which is also just like an indication of how many people are tuning in. But I did learn that, I should have learned this already, Jeremy. I'm not allowed to like things. Even when I like things, it's not okay, right? I should have learned my lesson with the Batman, I suppose, but I haven't yet. First episode of The Penguin is really good. Super interested to see the rest of the story play out. Still kind of feel bad for all the fat, ugly, crippled people out there who had Colin Farrell take the only role made for them, but he knocks it out of the park. Obviously, I'm joking a little bit and poking fun at the idea of all these freaks that get mad when, oh, how dare you have somebody in a fat suit play instead of a morbidly obese fat man. All this shit, right? saw Price Reason tweet this out. People really don't have a sense of humor anymore. Mike Kalinowski, even when he compliments something, he can't help but be a miserable piece of shit.
Oh, God.
I have no idea who Ryan Kittle is, but I think it's a funny tweet and he's being sarcastic. If you knew him, you would know his intentions. Bro, I don't know you. I don't know who this guy is. Mike Kalinowski.
So whenever even every time, there's no point in Ryan complimenting anything or anyone. There's just no point. Okay. Like, just don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Not worth it.
But it really does kind of like show you, especially when people get all upset about this or that, or if you have an opinion on the internet and you make it public, somebody out there is going to disagree with you. Somebody out there is going to have a problem with it. It doesn't matter if you like something, if you hate something, there's going to be people that argue, which is why it's so like insane to see these people complain about, I put out a tweet about liking a Disney Star Wars show and I had people who said I was wrong. I can't be positive in this fan base. And you look at the tweet they're talking about and it has like 3,000 likes from a bunch of pronoun and bio people. And it has maybe like 200 comments from people being like, oh, you're stupid. The show sucks.
Yep.
It's like you got 3,000 likes on that post and you're bitching about the couple people commenting, right? So like it is just something you have to fucking laugh at and shrug your shoulders at, because this is the internet. Just like in real life, if you have an opinion, there's probably going to be somebody that disagrees with you. That's just the way it is, even when you like something.
I think I saw this yesterday. I saw Price of Reason, tweet that out. I'm like, dude, every time Ryan likes something, he still catches shit for it. It's the greatest thing ever. You kind of deserve it just because you are a miserable piece of shit, though. So, you know what I mean?
I mean, I absolutely am a miserable piece of shit, but that's a disability I have. Okay. You shouldn't be attacking me for that.
Oh, love it. I love it. But yes, if you're interested, watch the Penguin. If you want to continue to see how we respond to it, we are all going to be covering it. So we'll give you the info as the episodes release. When do the episodes release? What day? Do we know?
The first episode premiered on a Thursday, but I don't know if they're going to do the same. Usually for a lot of their series like this, they end up doing the Sunday releases, right? But I don't know for this one. Episodes of the Penguin come out. Full release schedule. Batman, where to watch it? HBO. Every Sunday. So every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. All right, there we go. So I guess we'll give you guys feedback as these episodes release. So looking forward to it. But yeah, we actually liked something. Can you believe it? We've never liked anything ever. This is the first thing we've ever liked. Do you think that we're going to get clipped out talking about it? Do you think so?
I think part of what I said might get clipped, but I don't know about the substance of it all. But for the reason I like bring that up is because I saw a tweet from somebody who is tweeting about how much they liked Star Wars Outlaws, and they were retweeting their own tweet, and they said, saying I enjoyed something. I have a bunch of people insulting me or like whatever. Can't even be positive about this. And so I like go to the original tweet because I wanted to see what happened. And she had like 1.5K likes and like 30 comments that were like, the game sucks. You're dumb. So like overwhelmingly, you had like positive interactions from what you said. Hey, I liked Star Wars Outlaws. Yet you're trying to say, I can't be positive about some other people hating. You're not going to get like unanimous fucking support. It's the fucking internet.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I don't know why this is a problem. Like, well, it's a problem because you have weak-minded people that need their opinions.
Weak fucking people who cannot handle the fact that anyone might give them any pushback on anything.
Right. Mentally unstable people who need their opinions validated back to them to make them feel good about their opinions. And that's why I always talk about all the dumb shit that I like and how I don't care that it's unpopular and it's fine that everybody else hates it or whatever. I brought up the Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movies in one of my videos recently. and how I like that movie. I even liked the video game based on the movie that was based on the video game, which is the most retarded thing ever made. The fact, do you know about that? So they had the Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme that was based off the video game. Then they made the video game of the Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme that was based off the video game. So they had Jean-Claude in the video game from the movie. It's so stupid.
I like that.
It's awesome. It's great. And like, go look at the Rotten Tomatoes score for that fucking movie. It's got like an 11% critic rating and a 20% audience rating. It's fucking, everybody hates it, but I like it.
Of course.
Oh man, but everybody's racist that doesn't like it. They're racist against Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Eric Guidewall for 20. The Batman was not a good movie. Well, you're obviously a racist. I like Dark Knight Rises, but Tim Burton's Batman is still my go-to movie.
Dark Knight Rises. See, so again, I think that Tim Burton's Gotham is the best Gotham. Hands down, it's not even close. But the Nolan trilogy is that's my definitive Batman. But man, I love Batman. Burton's Batman, both of them, and the Gotham City he created, especially in Batman '89. Man, Gotham is amazing. So good. The scale, the scope, the feel, the vibe, the lived in kind of grittiness of it, the fantastical elements of it. Burton's Gotham is amazing.
It's not like it would be really hard to pull off that type of style and feel today.
Yeah.
Like, it just wouldn't, like, because you know of like the era it was made in and everything. If you try to do that today, it would immediately, people would like not even take it seriously at all.
Yeah,
it'd be really difficult to pull off. But
I agree.
Perfect for its time.
Well, that's why, I think that my biggest criticism of Dark Knight Rises, and there are many of them, while I love the movie, the shift the shift in Dark Knight Rises is really what bothers me in terms of the location and the filming and everything like that. Because Batman Begins, amazing. Gotham felt awesome as hell in Batman Begins, and then you kind of it kind of scaled up a little bit in how it felt in The Dark Knight. But then towards the end of Rises, and again, I don't want to go on a big tangent because there's a lot of problems with Rises, especially just like the direction, because how Dark Knight ends, which I think is the greatest ending in movie history, it sets up for something incredible, and we don't get that payoff at all. We don't get that payoff because it skips ahead like 8 years. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Heath Ledger died, and they wanted to avoid that element of it, but that it really sucks, man. But
yeah, it's like Batman was Batman for like 6 months.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like, right? I'm sure it's longer than that, but he was Batman for like 6 months and then retires. He's got a bad knee.
Yeah. Oh, but I do love
Bruce Wayne didn't have enough money for a super knee brace until 8 years later.
But I love Dark Knight Rises, but it has a lot of fucking problems.
You are beautiful. Sir Hat, I'm telling you guys, give the intro more than 30 seconds and everyone will be in at the start. Just have a funny loading screen that's like a G&G Chrono Trigger parody. Is something changed recently? Usually it would take about 10 or 12 seconds and it would kick in on YouTube.
Now it's taking like 45.
Yeah, now it's taking a little bit longer. So maybe we do need to get a little bit longer intro. Gabriel Martinez for $4.99. ITARD was tardy.
Okay.
Maybe I missed a meme. NASA Canes fan for $5. Has Disney fired Kathleen Kennedy yet? It's overdue. Well, according to reports, it was 5 years ago, but we'll talk about that a little bit. Taker, Ryan, on FNT around 1 hour, 34 minutes and 30 seconds. Ryan says, decent nuts. And you put your head down and your hair flopped over and you brought your head up and emo Ryan was born. I don't recall. Powdered Toast Man. Jeremy, did you ever do cinnamon sugar on your toast back in the day?
I did not.
Oh,
I did not.
God, dude. For some reason, I just thought of like cinnamon sugar on toast. That was like
just butter.
Maybe it was a Midwest thing. I don't know, but like everyone I knew growing up had like a shaker full of cinnamon sugar that you would put on your toast.
Yeah, I did not. I did not.
Jeremy, you got to check out this indie game getting developed. It's called Diesel Knights, basically World War II Titanfall. Try to send the link, but I don't think you can in Super Chats.
I saw that Super Chat come in and I looked it up. It actually looks really fucking impressive. So I thank you for telling me about that. So I'm going to look further into that. But yeah, it does look mechanically, it looks really good. It's obviously an indie game, so they don't have the budget of something like a Titanfall, but it does look like they're moving. Huh?
What's it look like? You still have it up?
No, but I can pull it back up. So keep reading and I can pull it back up.
David Nelson for 199. Zack Snyder has a new hentai on Netflix. I think he has some new fucking like Norse mythology show or something. I can't say I'm really interested in it, but I know it's out there. The Cowboy Ninja for 5. Do you see Elon changed how the block feature works? People can't hide what they say anymore.
Yeah,
I feel like there's going to be some people. Well, there's going to be a lot of people that get really triggered about that. But I mean, I'm all for it. I'm fine with it.
So,
because for a single player FPS, this is all you really need. Unless you want to have a shadow or legs. But Diesel Knights is not a single player game. Diesel Knights, for those of you who are new to the channel, is a 6v6 mech movement shooter set in a fictional diesel punk world. And if you want to make a multiplayer game, your character needs more than just arms.
It looks really good.
This is our player character for version 0.3.
So if you get to some of the gameplay,
to play around for a single player.
Wall running.
More about in our previous video.
Jeremy, there's wall running in a game.
But it's not suited for strategic.
I'm definitely going to check it out. So I appreciate the super chat and let me know about it. So it's not going to replace Titanfall. Nothing will ever be as great as Titanfall. But if it can be inspired by Titanfall, and obviously if they can get more budget. I mean, let's see, that video was only uploaded a day ago. It's already got 60,000 views and 10,000 likes on the video. So people are definitely this is the Titanfall 3 I never knew we needed. How does this not have more attention than it does? So what I would say is go over, actually give them some love over here. So go over to our Diesel Knights YouTube channel and show them some love. That was only uploaded a day ago. They only have 11,000 subscribers. So I'm gonna check out more into it and see. But even if we can just put a little more attention on that, but it looks really cool. So there you go. Thank you for the super chat.
Steven DeLeon for 2. Bills Mafia. Yeah, Josh Allen had one of those games where he just like is on fucking fire. If that would have been a competitive game, we could have seen Josh Allen throw for like 7 touchdowns. But listen, I was happy. I kind of hate these Monday nights when there's 2 Monday night games on at the same time. Yeah. It's kind of bullshit. Not a big fan, but it did provide some opportunities if you're into daily fantasy, which, as you guys know, we've been working with Prize Picks, and I had a really good night on Prize Picks. I had a 4-man lineup that they all hit last night. Shout out Jamar Chase. Thank you to Josh Allen. Thank you, Travis Etienne. Thank you to everybody last night that made me some money. But if you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, Prize Picks is the biggest daily fantasy sports app out there with over 5 million users. And it gives you a good opportunity to make the games a little bit more interesting. All you got to do is very simple. Just pick more or less than player stat projections and build your lineup. It's easy. And if you use GG, you get a free $50, which is always fun. Download Prize Picks app today. Use code GG and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even have to win. But I've been having a ton of fun with it. So shout out to the guys over at Prize Picks.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And if you guys don't know, we do have a sports channel, Sports Wars, and Ryan is the person that runs that. That's basically Ryan's channel at this point in time. He doesn't even allow me over there anymore.
You're not wanted, that's for sure. We always wonder when you're going to show up.
But I will be there to talk about the Alabama-Georgia game next week because man, that's going to be a wild one. And Tua will be back this year, and you're starting to see Dolphins need Tua, okay? Tua is going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. He's not retiring. He's not backing down. I don't care how much Ryan hates on him. Tua's the man.
Next time Tua hits, he takes a hit, he's going to die on the field. Like, we're going to witness Tua Tagovailoa, fucking gang signs and all, just dead. Deader than Damar Hamlin, who got an interception last night. A fucking terrible throw by Trevor Lawrence, and people acted like it was the second coming of Jesus Christ because like DeMar Hamlin caught an interception. Fuck. God, it was so annoying to watch.
Tua don't need to retire. That's weak. That's weak mentality. It's football. These people. Tua's getting paid $125 million. Okay, he'll be okay. All right.
He's not going to retire, and I don't think he should. But I don't think he's going to ever be healthy. Like, you know what I mean? I think the next one's always right around the corner, and they're always going to be having to fill in for fucking, oh, well, Tua's gone for 8 weeks because he's dizzy. I guess we got to find somebody else to fill in now.
Tua went through a hip injury back at Alabama, which not a lot of people talk about, and he had surgery and everything like that. So do you remember? I know I'm.
Remember,
well, I'm saying no. I'm saying, do you remember when Bo Jackson had his hip injury? You remember that? So it wasn't the same exact. It was actually a worse hit Tua went through. It was terrible, the hit he went through. But
the Bo Jackson thing was back in that time, that was a fucking, you're done.
That was a freak accident too, man.
It was just so weird the way it happened. But again, like so many other things in the fucking 70s or 80s, you tore your ACL, your career was over. Like that was it. Now guys are coming back from ACLs in like 8 or 9 months.
Yeah,
really,
but
with not much effect.
Bo Jackson might be the single greatest athlete I've ever seen.
Yeah, just like pure raw athlete.
Absolutely insane, dude. Like he was an absolute freak. It was insane how good he was. And one innocent looking tackle that dislocated his hip into the greatest athlete we've ever seen's career. Insane.
Yeah. But
so
I just think like some people are like predisposed to getting those concussions like because he didn't take a bad hit. Like the last one, it was not some crazy hit. It was something you see a dozen times in every single game, and it destroyed Tua.
No, I'm not comparing. I said Tua went through a hip injury at Alabama.
He just randomly brought up the hip injury.
No. Well, because the point I was making is that he hasn't been quite the same player since the hip injury, even at Alabama. You could tell that he played a little differently. He moved a little differently. He had more maneuverability before the hip injury. He could get out of the pocket a little more, and he could run a little better. It slightly changed his play style post-hip surgery is what I was saying. So that's all I was saying. You could go back and look it up. You can look at how he played prior to the hip surgery and after, and it did change the way that he ran out of the pocket and moved in the pocket.
Tua sucks.
He led the fucking NFL in passing last year.
I know. It was a lucky season.
Okay.
Linko Kenobi for 50. What's up, guys? I enjoyed the Penguin show. Reminds me of the Gotham series. It doesn't remind me much of the Gotham series other than the fact that Penguin is in it. At least off the bat. I mean, some of the I
didn't watch the Gotham series. Like, I can't remember if I watched any of that.
I was not a big fan of Gotham. I watched it for a long time. I tried desperately to like it, but I was not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
In the very first episode, Jim Gordon comes into contact with. There was some interesting stuff they did in it with the Jim Gordon story, but like overall, it really took me out when I'm pretty sure in the pilot episode, Jim Gordon ends up happening to run into like the 5 most important heroes or villains that will come like throughout the history of like the series. Like immediately, like you run into Penguin and Riddler and Poison Ivy.
Was Dave Filoni writing it, Ryan?
Batman. Oh God,
was Dave Filoni writing it? Like all the important characters just all show up at one time.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that anyway. It's been a very long time since I watched that pilot, so maybe that's what it felt like. You immediately got introduced to all these characters who are not the villains yet and are not the hero yet.
Yeah. Did you read?
Didn't care. I didn't care about fucking 12 or 13-year-old angsty Bruce Wayne. I don't give a shit.
Did you finish reading Linko Kenobi's 50? I don't think you did.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm less than 1,000 away from watch our videos and have 241 subs. I'm hoping to get monetized by the end of the year. Anyways, I'll be at work. Love the channel. Hail the 199.
Hail Linko, man. Keep up the good work, brother.
Linko Kenobi.
Keep up the good work, brother. Keep grinding.
All right, let's go back and catch up with some of these. Ryan, get a haircut. I'll try again. Golden Nuggets. Tobias Nexus. Star Fox Adventures is now 22 years old. Where's our remake, Nintendo? You keep remastering old games. Give us a full remastering of Adventures. Yeah, I think I know why Tobias likes Star Fox so much.
Ryan, we haven't gotten your take on this. Nintendo
Slippy the Toad takes on a whole new meaning for Tobias, by the way. But
Nintendo Switch 2 or Super Switch? What should it be called?
It should be called the Nintendo Switch Pro.
God. That would be a terrible name.
That's basically what it is, though. Like it's almost like it's crazy to even market it as like another console. Like it does feel like the PS4 Pro or the PS5 Pro. Like if what we're seeing about it is true, that it's basically just slightly bigger and a little more powerful.
Yeah. I think they need to call it the Nintendo Switch 2. I think they need to be very, very simple and direct about it, because you want to talk about PTSD. I still have that all as a Nintendo fan after the Nintendo Wii, and how when they released the Nintendo Wii U, everybody just thought it was an expansion of the Wii. So they were like, well, we don't need to buy it. All the normie people that were buying the Wii, they're like, well, the Wii U.
Switch U. Like, that should be it. That should be it.
They should just call it. Somebody said last night they should just call this Nintendo Switch 2 should be called the PlayStation 6.
That's like based on what I've seen, I don't have like much. I don't feel like I need to run out and get the Nintendo Switch 2. It's like, what? So my games can run fucking 15 FPS instead of 13. It's
gonna have a new Mario Kart, Ryan. We're gonna have a new Mario Kart. I know you're excited for that.
It doesn't really affect me all that much. I hate to break it to you.
Switch up. Oh my God, the names are crazy. I'm gonna start making Nintendo videos on this channel. I'm taking over the Nintendo scene here on YouTube. All right, I'm taking it over. So, taking it from Game Explain.
Beware. Peace Order Destruction. Remember, for 3 months, God of War Ragnarok's out on PC now. I know SBI worked on it, but the core story of Kratos and Boy is a great father-son tale. It's worth playing. Oh, there you go. Out on PC. I do think there's some controversy surrounding it because you have to link your PlayStation account or create a PlayStation account or something, which obviously PC players are not going to want to do. Lance for 5. Jeremy's going to end himself when he has to try to perform his own dental work or surgery. Personally, I trust most barbers over most physicians. Ministry of Wrong 345. The controversy that'll actually take G&G down, ironically enough, is people finding out Dan Vasquez is actually straight. Oof. Oof. That would absolutely end us. Over on Rumble, shout out to the Rumble audience. Lord of the Reeve for 2. Kamala Harris violated FEC guidelines using taxpayer money to fly Zelensky around the country to campaign for them. Look up Kamala Harris Rule 34 for more info. God bless America. Chronicling Mayhem, Sophie, Inglourious Bastards is a great example of people just sitting in a room and talking. The tension of that film. Love that film. Oh, well, hello there, Chronicling Mayhem. Is that you, Sophie? Lord of the Reef for 2. Batman 89 has the best Batmobile. Fight me.
You're not. I think you're right, actually. I mean, I love the Batman 89 Batmobile. I love the Tumbler, but the 89 Batmobile is iconic. I would say that is the best Batmobile. Yeah.
General Duality, hail. I've been working on an IDOT character recently. Hopefully I can get it done soon. Do you know when the Flex Fit hats will start shipping out?
They should be shipping out any day now. I'll double check on that and let you know. And I'm looking forward to seeing that art you're working on.
Lord of the Reef for 2. Star Fox Adventures was dog shit. We need a remaster of Star Fox Assault, as it's objectively the best Star Fox game. Which is the one that was out on the 64?
Star Fox 64.
Yeah, I that to me, I played the shit out of that when I was a kid, and I love the battles you could do in them as well, like the multiplayer battels.
I've never.
You could do your little fucking loop de loop. You could do your U-turn. I love Star Fox.
Tobias, get involved. We need Tobias fighting and arguing with people about it. So,
I bet Tobias knows the entire backstory of Falco and Pippi. Is it Pepe or Pippi? Whatever the fucking old ass rabbit's name is. Slippy Toad. I
Oh,
bet there's a
man.
lot of weird fan fiction out there about those characters from some of the freaks.
God. Well, don't. Why are you even talking about that shit? Fuck off. I don't need to know about that.
Tobias brought it up, which is
It's
no
gonna
surprise.
show. It's gonna show up in our algorithm just because you said it now, because that's how algorithm works. They listen to every fucking thing we say.
Well, you got your headphones in, so it should be fine for you. It's not like your phone heard it. All right. Where was I? Swig of Covfefe for the working man. If Ray had some Sweeneys and a little personality, I think the chance of a movie would improve. Boobs equal ratings. Sometimes.
I think Daisy Ridley's
Salma Hayek didn't exactly get people to the box office for the Eternals, did she?
That's true. I think Daisy Ridley's an attractive chick.
I would fuck Daisy Ridley, yeah. It's a shame her character sucks, but
yeah, I mean that just shows you
I think that from everything I've heard from Daisy Ridley in terms of like the way she's talked about fans and stuff like that, I think Daisy Ridley for the most part is a like perfectly likable person. You know what I mean?
I agree. That just shows you how bad writing can destroy someone's personality or whatever. Like Rose Tico, Kelly Marie Tran, she has a wonderful personality. Yeah, the character they play, the writing of the character can absolutely like destroy any good traits a person has.
Well, speaking of that, obviously, I think you guys talked about that yesterday on G&G Daily about the new report that's out there about the Ray movie potentially being delayed or being on hold indefinitely. Well, I suppose it's no surprise that we then got this news. This came out yesterday. In the aftermath of Daniel Rickman's exclusive breaking news report about the Ray movie being delayed, we get this. Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie is reportedly on indefinite hold, source from Daniel Rickman. Now, when I saw this, I myself thought, well, is this really news? Because to me, it's felt like it's been on hold for a year now. When Lucasfilm listed their active projects in development a few months ago, Taika Waititi's movie was nowhere to be seen. And the last time we really heard him talk about it, in the middle of last year, he said, I'm really struggling with some parts, writing the Star Wars movie. And then 10 months ago in November, Taika Waititi made it very clear that this isn't a fucking priority, that he basically doesn't care about this. Taika Waititi reveals he needs to finish writing 4 projects before moving on to his Star Wars movie. Like, think of that. You get a Star Wars movie, and it's 5th on your list of priorities. That's what it is for
Lucasfilm. That just shows you what Lucasfilm has done to Star Wars and how it used to be that this was the top of the mountain for your career. Like if you could get involved in Star Wars in some capacity, if you could just work with Star Wars, not just direct, because obviously there wasn't a lot of that. I mean, George directed all the prequels, but man, if I could work on Star Wars, if I could be involved in it, and this just shows you how Lucasfilm and Star Wars is perceived now, where you're hiring all these people that don't give a shit about it, because that's really what it comes down to. You're hiring people that don't care about Star Wars. So it's not even at the top of their priority list. And this is why it's translated into the writing of the films, the characters and everything like that, because you're bringing people in that don't even give a shit about it. And this is the way they're treating it. They're treating it like it's a secondhand franchise. And going back to your point, yeah, I remember all of these discussions months and months ago about this. So to me, this is not an update. Like the Ray information that's out there, that's a legitimate news story. Like, okay, this one could be on hold.
If the information is true and factual from the same person that's bringing you the breaking news that the Taika Waititi movie is not being developed right now.
Right. Yes, but what I'm saying, though, is 6 months from now, if people start talking about the Ray movies on hold, that's not going to be news because it's already been reported. You know what I mean? So, like, we know that Taika Waititi's fucking Star Wars movie is not anywhere near development or anything like that. Not even been discussed really. So I hope that he doesn't make a movie. And I think this is a bigger problem with just Lucasfilm in general and the leadership at Lucasfilm, which has been well documented on this channel and many other channels. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say he shouldn't. Taika Waititi should not be given a Star Wars movie. I think that Taika Waititi actually has some talent as a director when he's not doing stuff with pre-existing IPs and storylines and stuff. I complained about it with Thor Ragnarok, and I felt like I was in the minority talking about how he inherently changed the entire character and feel of Thor. And even though the first Thor and Thor the Dark World might not be some of your favorite MCU movies, one thing that I really did enjoy was Thor very specifically had a different feeling than the rest of the Marvel characters and the rest of the Avengers. And Thor Ragnarok was like, hey, let's just make this kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy and make this dude who's been around for, you know, several millennia and never understood sarcasm. All of a sudden, he's fucking joking around with the best of them too. I didn't like that. And I think you lost a lot from the MCU when that happened. And then Thor Love and Thunder just went the extra mile. And then everyone finally woke up and was like, oh, no, I can't believe they let Taika Waititi do what he wanted to these characters. Yeah, he did it in Ragnarok too. But with that being said, I don't think he should get a fucking movie set in the Star Wars franchise with the type of director that he is. If you remember, he directed one episode of The Mandalorian the first season. It was the last episode, the finale. And what did you get immediately after? I don't know how well you remember it, Jeremy, but in episode 7, you have that kind of that moment where you're not sure if the stormtroopers are going to get there, and they end up killing Quill. And a really like dark, sad, moment. What happens immediately to start the next episode? Oh, by the way, and all the stormtroopers that just fucking executed this dude in cold blood, all this shit. Well, now they spend 2 minutes joking about how they're such bad shots and how stormtroopers can't hit anything and the punching Baby Yoda stuff, which I was a fan of punching Baby Yoda in general. But the tone just immediately felt off because it was a Taika Waititi jam. And I don't think he should be part of Star Wars.
No, he shouldn't be part of Star Wars or Marvel. He should be doing his own thing, working on his own projects that have no ties to any other pre-existing IPs. So I do think that you're just looking at a huge problem right now with Lucasfilm in general. And they recognize that, yeah, we have screwed up royally. The Acolyte was a failure. We lost a ton of money on that. A lot of these creative projects that we're working on doesn't have the fan base excited at all. And we're moving in the wrong direction. Like right now, okay, gun to your head, Ryan, do we get the Rey movie?
I still say gun to my head, pull the fucking trigger. We're getting the Rey movie, okay?
Okay.
And for people that are like, oh, I can't believe let's just keep in mind the Acolyte was announced at the beginning of 2020 and it didn't come out until 2024, right? That's a series, not a movie. The reason that the Mandalorian movie got fast-tracked the way it was is because guess what? They just took the storyline for season 4 of Mandalorian, which was already outlined, and they converted it to a movie. Like they already essentially had the story and the script for it. And I think that's why that one immediately kind of got off to the racetracks. But for me, unless there is a massive shakeup at Lucasfilm, which who knows, possibility, or unless they actually get like the veto from the people that control the money because of all the failures they've seen lately, there's no way that they want to admit defeat and failure after bringing up Daisy Ridley at Star Wars Celebration, after pulling out diverse activist director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. They do not want to stomach that loss. They would rather lose fucking money on a project than stomach that embarrassment. So to me, if I'm betting, I am still betting on the Rey movie happening eventually.
Same could be said about them not wanting to cancel the Acolyte season 2, about like not wanting to deal with because I think that's far more embarrassing. The announcement of that.
But they didn't announce it. That's the thing. They'd never announced that.
Well, they personally didn't. But my point being is, though, the Acolyte cancellation has been far more embarrassing than if the Rey movie just never happens. Just like the Rian Johnson trilogy. If it just doesn't happen and they don't address it, that's far less of a blow than the Acolyte season 2 actively being canceled. And of course, the announcement comes out that it's being canceled because it did get canceled. That was far more embarrassing than, say, Rian Johnson's trilogy just never happening. And they don't talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. That was their plan with the Acolyte. They were never going to put out a public statement about that. That leaked to, I think, Hollywood Reporter or Variety or somebody from somebody at Lucasfilm that told them that. That was not a Lucasfilm announcement. They never planned on announcing that. They were just going to let it sit there like everything else, to your point.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to face that.
Right.
But that leaked. So that's kind of the difference with that.
Well, but my point being is that they were forced into that situation because it was losing them money. They were going to continue losing money if they just did not cancel this season. So they made an internal decision to cancel the season based on the fact that the profits were not going to be there. I think that that's the same decision they're going to have to make with the Rey movie. They're not going to make money. They're going to lose money if they continue down this path. I don't think that this movie is going to make them money. Now, they could look at the internals and go, hey, Ray's been in 3 movies and they've all made $1 billion. So we're going to, they could try to justify that, but they know just as well as we know that Ray ain't going to make them $1 billion. It ain't going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. Personally, from a content standpoint, I hope we get a Ray movie. Okay. I hope we get all these movies, but I'm leaning towards no Ray movie. That's what I'm leaning towards.
I'm firmly, and I'm not shifting my position, but for now at least. But I still think it's going to happen.
I do. At least.
Like, obviously, if what we hear from a couple people changes, then I'll be like, oh, I guess they're fucking canceling it. But like right now, my gut feeling, it still will happen to some extent. This got announced last year? Is that 2023? It got announced.
A Star Wars Celebration, I believe.
Was it this year?
I don't know. Time flies, man. Time flies when you're on the internet as much.
It had to be last year because remember the Charmin obeyed Chinoy. It's about time a female took over in Star Wars. That shit was on New Year's. So it had to have been in 2023, like later in 2023 when they announced it. So it's been about a year probably since that announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they fired the first group of writers that were working on it. Show enough for 5. Hail Ryan, FNT's DEI compliance officer, and Jeremy, a homosexual. Los Domino Man, sorry, for 5. At this point, they should just leave the Matt Reeves continuity on TV and follow up Penguin with a Batman series and leave James Gunn's to cinema. Yeah, that's the funny thing is all this hype about this Penguin show, and it's in a kind of a dead end universe while James Gunn is making his own Batman.
It's really weird.
Yeah. Gary's Beard Dingleberries for 2. Kyle Chandler casts as Green Lantern. Good, bad. I love
Kyle Chandler as an actor. I fucking love him. So,
and in an ideal world, would I love to see like a Hal Jordan, a younger Hal Jordan? Yes, but I think it's pretty clear what they're doing. An older Hal Jordan, a Jon Stewart who might be like the main of this Green Lantern Corps series. But if you're casting an older Hal Jordan, I like the casting itself. A lot of it's going to depend on how they use him and what they do. But
just on the casting alone, I love the idea. I'm a huge fan of Kyle Chandler. I've always enjoyed him in movies and TV shows. So
it's like if you're casting a little bit older Hal Jordan, I'm fine with that casting. For Ryan, is Elon Musk a real life Iron Man? I don't think he has a suit.
He's about as close as we have, though.
Nandy O for 199. Batman Begins greater than The Dark Knight.
Not a bad take. I think The Dark Knight's better, but they're very, very close. Very close.
Garuk. Ryan might be a miserable piece of crap, but he's our miserable piece of crap. Thank you.
Yes, unfortunately.
The Pally Dan for 2. Raul Julio was amazingly campy. As Bison in SF, RIP.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. Raul Julia.
Street Fighter the movie.
There you go. Maddening for 5. Good to see you both. Penguin sounds worth a watch. Enjoy your day.
The first episode is. We will continue to update you as the series progresses, though.
Gerardson for 20 Mexican pesos says test. Didn't work. Got to do it again. And Knockmaman for 5. Jimmy rants about how much he hates Man of Steel all the time. I like the movie. His opinion doesn't affect me because I'm a grown-ass adult.
Damn right.
Jim Watari becomes a YouTube member. Ministry of Wrongthink. Titanfall 3, let's go.
Man. I just want to play Titanfall 2.
Cameron disrespected fans again. Says people that saw Terminator 2 in 1991 are now either dead, retired, crippled, or have dementia.
What the hell?
Context, low dark fate attendance. I want to see that response from him.
I gotta see it.
It's like, why did no one go to see your movie? Well, the fans of the franchise so long ago, they're either fucking dead, retired, crippled, or fucking insane.
I gotta see that.
As if he's not old. Like, Jack Straw from Wichita for 2. Ryan is the gayest Marvel project to date. The singing Tiggs. Nice transition, Ryan Capiro. Hill 199. Jeremy's gay. To be fair to Mike K, Ryan is always miserable. Yeah.
It's true.
But it was the follow-up to that. If you
knew his intentions.
That was the follow-up that made me want to make fun of that. Like, just some random guy. I don't know who that is, but it sounds like he's being sarcastic. And he's like, if you knew him, you'd know his intentions. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Mark of reality. But can Tua go hang gliding and pull a trout out of the middle of a lake like Madam Savvy?
No.
What does that have to do with anything?
I have no idea.
Well, thank you, Mark of reality.
Nobody cares about Madam Savvy, though. Like, nobody cares. Hail Madam Savvy. So I don't know if that's an inside joke. That's an inside joke I'm not aware of.
Oh.
Like with her toe because of her talon claws. Yeah, because she's got like claws on her feet. So.
Oh, okay. Jeremy, how about a friendly wager on the Bama Mizzou game in a few weeks?
See how we look after Georgia. I'm not convinced Bama's the all powerful Bama from the past, but Georgia will let us know.
Dark Schwartz Rising becomes a YouTube member. Thank you. Siaba for 199. Thank you. Mark of reality for 10. All things being equal, I'm really glad to see you guys on YouTube today.
Thank you, Mark of reality.
Well, that's very nice of you to say.
That was the nicest message we've gotten all day.
Kind of gay. But thank you, Mark of reality. Heart and soul. Jeremy, my Panthers finally benched our middle school quarterback. Sorry, he's looking like a bust.
Yeah, just trade him to the Dolphins, get it over with.
Well, like what I said when that happened was sometimes it's the right thing to fucking bench a guy who's struggling like that. And look at the laundry list of quarterbacks right now that are playing really fucking well who have been benched just in the past 10 years. Look at what Geno Smith is doing with the Seattle Seahawks. Look at what Sam Darnold is doing in Minnesota. Look at what Baker Mayfield is doing with Tampa Bay. Obviously, they lost last week, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just because they struggle on maybe a bad team doesn't necessarily mean that they can't be successful at some point in their career. So it was absolutely the right thing for them to do to bench Bryce
100%.
Young.
And Bryce sitting behind a veteran, Andy Dalton, is only going to help him.
All right, where did I go? JL for 2. No, Jeremy Dak did 4,500 pass yards, 36 touchdowns.
Yeah, but Tua did have the most passing yards in the NFL last year. I'm pretty sure either that or a passer rating. Which one was it that he led the league in? He led the league in passer rating and passing yards.
Didn't Brock Purdy lead it in passer rating?
Let's see. Hang on.
I gotta look at this dumb shit up. 2023 player stats. Passing Tua led in passing yards, 4,600.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Tua led in passing yards. What about rating? Well, here's the fucking dumb thing. It's like sorting by fucking random people who threw like 3 passes. Who's the first actual fucking quarterback on the Brock Purdy led the league in passer rating for people that actually started a significant amount of time.
So 2023, Tua Tagovailoa led the league in passing yards and was named to the Pro Bowl. In 2022, Tagovailoa led the league in passer rating. So in 2022, he led the league in passer rating. In 2023, he led the league in passing yards, but apparently he sucks. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. How many games did he miss in 2022?
Several. So I don't know if
that's always a tough stat. It's like, hey, if you played 15 out of 17 games, I buy that. If you played 11, kind of a junk stat.
Yeah.
But I don't remember specifically for him. Siaba became a member, and Siaba says Texas Spy Historian over on Rumble. Hail 199. There you go. J Rex becomes a channel member. Switch whisper messages. Says Ministry of Wrong Thing.
Dr. Disrespect's gonna get one.
be the place based on their audience. Tomac for 20. Tobias, how much screeching do you think will happen with a high-res crystal if a remake of Adventure happened? We got super chats for Tobias on Geeks and Gamers Daily.
Dude, I love this shit. I love this chat so fucking much. So now Tobias sending super chats. Now Tomac is sending super chats to Tobias for Tobias to answer in a super chat. This is great. I fucking love you guys.
Justin Echoes, Ryan, have you checked in on Dan? I'm not queer, so no. Dan is not a woman I would like to have sex with, so no, I didn't just send him a random message. Hey, just checking in. Want to make sure you're doing okay. Lance for 199. Love how Ryan says slippy toad like it's a slur.
I like how Ryan said Tobias is getting super chats.
He is. Like when I finished reading that, it's Slippy Toad, isn't it? Am I wrong? Slippy Toad is like the fucking name. I remember that fucking mission where turret ass Slippy gets lost. You have to like go find him or some shit.
Oh my god, that was
Falco
funny.
was always I fucking identified with Falco because I felt like he was kind of just angry and upset all the time. Pre-Dawn Corpse, Jeremy, you forgot to play the G.I. Joe PSA body massage video yesterday. Ryan, nice hair. Almost makes you look gay as Jeremy. Thank you.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find it.
Tobias for 10. I know a bit, and I loved 64, also called Lilat Wars as well. Adventures and Assault were amazing titles. Also, James McLeod, Fox's dad, was also a cameo in the F-Zero series as a playable character. There's Tobias dropping the lore. Jack Straw from Wichita for 2. Ryan is the gayest Star Wars project to date. Thank you.
These fucking PSAs are amazing.
Eric Guidewall for 20. Taika Waititi is genuinely a bad actor as well. I don't love him as an actor. Thank you, Eric.
Here we go.
Oh man, check out that thing, man.
What do you want to do with it?
Let's launch over it.
Who wants a body massage?
What did he just say to us?
Hello. Mr. Body Massage
like
Machine gone?
It's got like 5 million views.
What the hell?
Body massage.
G.I. Joe!
Got 5 million views on this. It's so stupid. Oh god. Fucking internet.
Jump over it. Siaba for 20. Light of Mordor on the other platform that rhymes with humble. You'll like it, I promise. Hail to 199. I'm the Texan Spy Historian. Well, thank you, Siaba, Texan Spy Historian. Go check it out on Rumble.
Thank you so much.
Gung Ho Mac for 5. Jeremy needs to be in control of everything. He wouldn't even let someone else give birth to his child. He said, I'll do it myself. They're doing it again. Ready for tonight. Gonna be funny as shit.
Yep.
Anakmon, I think Burton's Gotham isn't just a product of its time. Yeah, it wouldn't work if you keep making Batman grounded. If you made the comic book movie look like the comic book, it'd still work today. I don't know. Like if you, as it was very much, it felt like it came out of a comic book, but it came out of a comic book from that era, if that makes sense. So I don't know if you tried to make a movie like that, how people would feel about it today. If a modern movie like that came out today, I don't know how people would respond to it. And it's all about an evolution, right? I think like right now, the fucking grounded shit is what has been in for a while. I think eventually that'll evolve and we'll get into something else.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Jesus Davila, Nintendo Switch 720, just to stick it to Microsoft. Biggles Mets for 2. Jeremy is really gay. Ryan is not. Thank you, Biggles, for the ringing endorsement. But that's it. We're all caught up, Jeremy.
All right, we are at the end. You got the real BBC getting started pretty soon over there. I don't know if it's on Gary's channel or Az's channel today. I'm not sure. So you can go check those guys out. I'll be making videos today. We have Tuesday night's main event. And again, don't forget, you can go over to 221B Tactical and you can get the IDOT shirt. Here we go, right here. IDOT shirt, IDOT hoodie. You can also get the combo package right there. Do I not have dark theme on this fucking computer anymore? I can't stand to go to a website that doesn't have dark theme over there. But anyway, there's the shirt. There's the hoodie. That sale ends on October 1st. So that's a little campaign we're putting together for Halloween. So make sure you go over there and check that out. Many of you have already, told me that you've gotten your shirt and your hoodie. So it's going to be awesome. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Ryan, what do you got going on?
Nothing.
Being
miserable, according to what's his name. So
yeah,
somebody said it on the internet, so I'll just embody it.
But it is true. Like, it is true. You are a miserable piece of shit. So
I do, but I liked the Penguin just like I liked the Batman. Gay Carpenter for 5. Just saw the Ravid from yesterday. Jay wants you to blow on the mic. Yep. Hawk 2.0 will fix your tech issues. I saw after the Seahawks blew out the Dolphins. Can't beat the Hawk without the Tua.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. Get yourself an IDOT shirt, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.